Fox. All right, let's shift gears right now and take you out to another major story we're following out of Colorado Springs, Colorado, as more than 100 people have been detained after this at a nightclub there in southern Colorado. I'd want to put this up from the DEA in the Rocky Mountain region. As you can see this saying more than 200 people were inside the Colorado Springs underground nightclub when the DEA and local federal partners made entry around 3:45 local time. Drugs and weapons were seized and more than 100 illegal aliens are now in custody facing potential deportation. So we are following this very closely here on Live Now from Fox about these arrests being made, this DEA in Colorado, as we have more video of it on Live Now from Fox. I want to give you more information as federal authorities announced that more than 100 illegal immigrants were detained in a massive raid at an underground nightclub. The Drug Enforcement Administration led a multi-agency operation early Sunday morning, arrested 114 illegal immigrants at the venue that contained more than 200 people. Authorities uncovered drugs, including pink cocaine, as well as evidence of prostitution and multiple firearms during the operation. Of course, we are following it on social media. They said those facts, that they have taken more than 100 illegal aliens into custody. Drugs and weapons also seized there at this operation. Attorney General Pam Bondi applauded the operation, which included 300 officials across multiple agencies, including the FBI, the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearm, ATF. She said on social media, this morning, the DEA apprehended those 100 illegal aliens at an underground nightclub frequented by TDA, Tren de Aragua, and MS-13 terrorists. Cocaine, meth, pink cocaine seized. 2 people were also arrested on existing warrants. She complimented the operation, the multi-agency operation, talking about this. So
today is officially the first 100 days of Trump's second term. And look at him, continuing to do what he said he was going to do, regardless of what the mainstream media is saying, regardless of how much people are panicking with the tariffs, regardless of how much they talk about the price of eggs, even though the price of eggs is down like 50%, they're not going to acknowledge what he's doing, but he's sticking to the script. All right, all these countries coming to the talking table. We have gas prices coming down. We have grocery prices coming down, but they're not going to give them a win. Even the stock market, they constantly complain about the stock market. Had nothing to say about the stock market the last 4 years, but every single hour of the day is looking at the stock market. The stock market is rebounding from when Trump started the initial tariff talks and implementing them. So they don't have anything to say. But anyway, let's kick this story over to Colorado, where we got these people up in their little club doing their little bachata. They doing their little merengue dances. They taking shots of tequila at the bar, drinking on some Modelo's and cerveza. And then they got the police breaking through. They're over there in Colorado, got these underground clubs where they selling whatever, any and everything. If you buying it, they are selling it. Now you got law enforcement finally taking some action after damn near 200 calls have been made about this place and what's been going on. You've had gunshots going off, nobody coming. Now they running up in there and people scrambling. And I bet you gonna have somebody, some liberal crying out, please, these are good people. They should not be separated from their families. Man, back in the day, this is how the parties used to look. All right, the cops come through to the little after hour spot and then everybody just taking off. Hey, man, it's just y'all turn. Tom Homan and Ice about to get their hands on y'all, and y'all got to go back home. All right, I'm sorry if the price of tacos and nachos and empanadas and tortas got to go up where you living at, because these people got to go back home, but it is what it is. Mi casa is not su casa. All right, you ain't got to go home, but you got to get the flip out of here. I'm willing to bet that there are thousands of these underground clubs full of these people doing these type of activities right now as we speak around the country. I'm willing to bet. In all of these blue cities and all these places where these politicians are telling them, come one, come all, I wouldn't be surprised if these are taking place. And I wouldn't be surprised if we start seeing stories coming out where high-profile people have frequented some of these clubs.
America is safer tonight thanks to Donald Trump. Last night, Brian, what they did, to back up, during the Biden administration, they received 170 911 calls to that club alone. That club we were just watching, 170 calls. Wouldn't you think that would have been a red flag? Nothing happened.
Didn't I just say I wouldn't be surprised if some high-profile people in some of these cities and towns were being tied up in this? Because how do you get called 170 times and the police don't do anything? They don't go in and investigate, they don't shut it down? What's going on there?
Guns, shootings, ag batteries, nothing happened. So under Donald Trump, DEA, FBI, U.S. Marshals, ATF, ICE, everyone went in together. DEA led this investigation, went in, got 115 illegal immigrants, aliens in our country, arrested them, 2 with warrants, 12 guns seized. So what would happen in this club is...
How are all of these illegals getting guns, yo? For real. As hard as they make it in some of these places, like Colorado included, how are they getting all these firearms? In New York City, in California, what's going on? These people come down the hardest on U.S. citizens, and here it is. These people that have come into the country within the last 4 years, they more armed up than some of our police forces in this country.
You would go in, security would give you a menu of drugs. Cocaine, there's something new called pink cocaine. Meth, you could go in a bathroom stall, get that. There was prostitution. All these things going on, and we just now identified a member of Sinaloa cartel was also in there.
So that's interesting because it's not a sanctuary city, right?
No.
Denver is, but Colorado Springs isn't. You look at this for the longest time. What is the downside of raiding that club during the Biden years? Like, what's the negative side of it? Do you prefer illegal drug use and illegal aliens?
And prostitution and the violence and the shootings and the guns that was happening in that club, and no one...
That seems like a regular Democrat-run city, to be honest.
Did anything after 170 911 calls. Yet President Trump immediately, that was a really dangerous operation, too. And that's why there were 300 agents all working hand in hand, and that's what Donald Trump has done so well. All of our agencies work so well together. Went in there, got these bad guys out, 115 arrests, 12 guns off the streets, lots of drugs off the streets now, less prostitution as a result of it.
It's so interesting. I know Kellyanne Conway did a great job focusing on fentanyl when it started emerging as the plague that's killed our country and so many young people in the first term. But you guys have really amped it up working with border security. In terms of fentanyl, taking it off the streets, do you have a number there?
Yeah, Brian, when I was state AG, I actually worked with Kellyanne when she was in the White House on this because fentanyl was just emerging on the market. And yes, now since Donald Trump has been in office, DEA has seized over 21 million fentanyl pills. That's 21 million lives saved, in my opinion, off the streets.
No doubt about it.
Shout out to Trump and all the various organizations that are working together to move forward with the deportation effort, because the mainstream media isn't really going to talk about this. Every time that there is a big win for the Trump administration, they're going to spin it. They're going to say that these people are being separated from their families. They're not going to have due process like the Maryland man. That's what you're going to hear about all of these illegals. Never mind, they have drugs. They're doing all these crimes. They got an underground club where you go in and get a menu of different drugs that you can get. You can go in and get a menu of different women you could get because they're all prostituting and stuff. That's what Democrats like.
The Trump administration is approaching its first 100-day mark with a full court press on the issue of illegal immigration, and they really don't want you to miss it. So they subtly and tastefully deck the White House North Lawn with dozens of yard signs featuring photos of people that the Trump administration claims are in the country illegally.
Today marked the first 100 days of Trump's second term. And outside of the White House, he had lawn signs displaying these migrants' faces with the crime that they were arrested for. Of course, you had the left mainstream media and Jake Tapper that had to blur out these people, because how dare you put out the names, the faces, and the crimes that these people are accused of committing without them actually going through the court system. They're like, you can't do that to the Maryland man. There's ways that you have to go about it. He needs due process. All these people need due process. And I understand due process is extended to people who are not citizens of the country. I get that. But where I draw the line is, if you came into the country illegally, it's different from if you came into the country on a work visa, a student visa, a travel visa, something like that. They have a problem with these people's faces being plastered. But the same CNN and the left mainstream media have no problem if there's some sort of famous person, an actor, an athlete, an entertainer or something like that, and they're alleged of doing something, before they even go through the court process, all of these news stations and outlets will have the mugshots everywhere. Before I close out, let me just point out, they have the security guard. All right, that looks like it says security on the ground. All right, nobody's safe. If you're in the country undocumented, you better not be going out. You better not be going to the clubs. You better not be going to the bars, to the movies, to the mall, not even to the supermarket. No place is safe. All right, my boy Tom Homan and Trump not messing around. All right, they want these people out of here. They want the gang members, people that are a threat to public safety, out of here. If you came through the southern border illegally, then your days are numbered. You might as well purchase a plane and go back home yourself, because if they got to do it for you, you don't know. You might be going back home to a prison. You might not even be headed back to your home country. You might be headed to those prisons in El Salvador. And we don't want to hear nothing, nobody talking about separating kids from their families, all right? Y'all knew what you did. If you don't want to be separated from your kids, buy them a ticket as well, and y'all could all keep the family together and go back to your country. If you want to come to the country, come here. It's a beautiful country. My parents came to this country. It's beautiful. There's a lot of opportunity, but you gotta do it the right way. You can't skip the line and then go get all of the benefits, all of the money, all of the handouts. That's not the way it works. America is closed. We don't want any more people right now until we sort out what the hell is really going on in this country. We're done. All right, all the handouts that you was getting, the EBT stipends, the $2,000 a month, the New York City credit cards, all of that is done. We're not doing it anymore. You had your fun. If you got to get a come up real quick, hey, congratulations, you finessed the system. But if you're still here and think that you're getting anything moving forward, I'm sorry, my friend. I'm sorry, mijo, mija. Those times are done. Those days are behind you. Joe Biden is no longer the president, all right? All right, our president, we trying to make America great again. All right, it's all right if you want to come here, do what you got to do the right way, but we're making America great again. We're done. Sorry, it's shut off. If you're not American or you're not America first, we don't want to help you out right now. It might sound a little harsh, but there's things that we got to take care of here. All right, our money is being squandered and laundered everywhere around the world. We got to take care of here, all right? The same way you want your country to be the best, the same way you fly the flag of your country, even though you say that you're fleeing whatever it is in your country, is the same way I want my country to be the best. I want my country to be first. I could go on for days how much I want America to flourish all day long. But of course, I don't have that much time. So y'all let me know whatever you're thinking in the comments section. Till the next video, please be safe and stay wavy.
Repetition is the father of learning.